The macroeconomic situation right now is getting really worse. We are watching the trust in banks collapsing. One by one, we are observing how things are evolving, and that does not look positive. The way current monetary system is moving doesn't look promising, and that's one of the reasons why we see safe haven assets are reaching close to all-time highs. But there is still a catch to that, right? When you go look at gold on a weekly, we actually observe that the RSI is flat at a time when the price is going up and testing a major resistance. So we need to see what the hell is happening. We are observing that the Fed is right now pulling that trigger, meaning it's slowing down the economy, and that's what they really want, to slow the inflation down. And that means the credit crunch is here. Majority of the world now understand that this banking crisis is not going to be great for the property market, because that's mostly based on the debt system. Majority buy a house with 10 or 20% down payment. That's it. You take the rest from the bank. And if the banks are not giving you loans, what happens? The housing market slows down. And that is exactly what we are watching. Now we have a different scenario playing out. What is that? Now, this is not Ripple. This literally is a competitor of that. Daml, we have actually talked about them before, and we observe this right now. A privacy-enabled Canton network allows previously siloed systems in finance to be interoperable and synchronized. So right now you're observing firms including BNP, Deutsche, Goldman, and other big names are here like Deloitte, Microsoft, and all, and they are working together to make this possible. Now, yes, you do get names like Cape Gemini and others here, but the major thing here is this, the name, right? Which is digital assets smart contract language. They are using that to synchronize the payments to get that method of governance, to get that privacy in blockchain technology. They are actually using this. Now, why is this so important? Because this is just in one country where this is happening right now. But G7 is right now talking about a stronger financial system. For sure, the debt-based system which we are talking about right now is not the strongest system for sure. Because on the other end, we see IMF going and warning Zimbabwe for thinking about or dropping in a gold-based asset. Now, we are observing this, right? Asia investors sue Switzerland bank over the bank collapse. Now, that's the bond market where you actually delegate your risk. Basically, if you are going to do this, most of them don't actually understand the fact that, okay, if you are in the junior tranche of the mezzanine tranche, you literally don't have the protection like the senior tranche. The risk is actually divided based on these tranches, where the seniors actually get protection with or at the cost of the lower tiers. If the bank collapses till that level, they take in the loss and the seniors get their money out. That's how the system is built. So unless you understand how things are evolving, this is going to be really hard, because the global banking crisis is here, and that's looking really attractive for cryptocurrency market and the new era of central bank digital currencies. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Right now, yes, the macro is looking positive in terms of where the money is going to flow. However, we are observing that the price is slowing down at a time when the RSI is moving to the downside. So if the RSI is breaking lower, that does mean we are going to see price following that. So a break of this support level, which is $27,000 for Bitcoin, would actually start bringing more fear and panic into the market. At the same time, when we look at XRP as an asset, we know that, okay, that resistance has kicked the price lower. So we went up to 0.58, we got rejected. Now here we are at 0.42. We barely touched 0.4, which is the moving average, and we are slowly holding above that. So while we observe the RSI, we see that, okay, each time when the RSI comes close to this range of support, it bounces off. And right now we are getting close to that range. So are we really going to get a bounce off from this range? Because it's now a little bit different. Yes, the RSI has reached this trend line support. The price is way higher. The price is not here at 0.36. The price is at 0.42. So right now, the market is actually suggesting you that the price is showing you some strength. Right now, yes, all eyes are on Bitcoin, because if you actually see Bitcoin dropping directly, boom, towards 25,000, now that means most of the crypto assets will drop. But the primary question will be like, okay, you go into a short-term chart, you want to see like, okay, what is happening right now? We broke through this level. We did not retest that 28,500 yet. So we may actually come back up towards 28,400, 28,500, test that range and get rejected, go back lower. Now, while you're on a daily chart, you understand the fact that, okay, the moving average was there. We just broke below that moving average with heavy momentum, meaning you actually erased this leg of support coming lower here. So now we can put in the perspective saying, okay, that literally looks like a double top, which means prices are going lower. Now, yes, that's a daily chart. We agree on that front. But as you zoom out, you do get the narrative like, okay, we're coming back down. We're going to see massive buying opportunities in a lot of different assets. Because when you come into the market, you observe the fact that, okay, volume is slowly going up. Now, with the market cap still at $1.2 trillion, we're not observing a ton of new money entering the market. We're observing rotation of the money within the market, right? So while you focus on accumulating assets which are on the forefront of the accumulation range, that may give you some more advantage. Yes, we look a lot at XRP, but if we actually take a look at one of its competitor, XLM, in that arena, we kind of see like, okay, it is also at that range where it is testing the moving average on a weekly. Now, what is even more interesting here is that right now it is coming back to the range of the continuation pattern. It's almost breaking back into that range, which doesn't look really attractive in terms of price action. But what I would like to say is like, okay, if we actually put in a trend line, we see the fact that we broke that to the downside. So in terms of the RSI guiding us, that doesn't look really attractive, meaning the price may still come back lower. It can drop another 20%. That is still possible. And it still will be trending higher. It can just look like this and it will still look attractive. But the major scenario we have to keep in mind here is that the dollar is still a little bit stronger. We want that to break to the downside and continue to the downside. But right now on a weekly, we're observing there is a possibility of a double bottom forming in dollar. Now, dollar bouncing back up to test any level and then go back down can still slow down crypto. So say dollar bounces back up to 103 to test that level before it actually get rejected towards 90s. That means crypto market is about to slow even further. Now, yes, that's not going to be a surprise because majority of us are looking at the accumulation range. Majority of us are looking for this 30 to 35% of correction to retest this range. Now, that retest can be a little bit crazy, right? A lot of people are not expecting how low the price can go. Most likely, they are looking for a short-term correction. Now, there will be few who are looking for way bigger correction. The price actually come lower to this territory. But then you'll have to ask yourself what the RSI shows. You literally have to ask yourself what the MACD is showing. So once you're back in the market and you're analyzing this fact, Now you have a better understanding of what the market exactly is showing you. Right? It's not just about the price action, it's actually about the psychology of the market. Are you literally observing money coming back into the market? That's going to be a big question to answer. Because on the macro front, now anyone who is watching this can literally say this was a big euphoric action in the market, after which this was a gigantic euphoric action in the market. Whereas right now, we are nowhere near euphoria, we are nowhere near a up run, right? We are just starting a phase where the RSI looks like it is trending to the upside. It is slowly starting to trend higher. Remember, back in the days, while we were correcting lower, we had a time when the RSI was correcting and then starting into a new trend line. So you slowly came down and then started showing a divergence. Now the divergence would look like this. The price is going down, 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 whereas the RSI started making a trend line to the upside, which was positive. Now, just after that, you see that the RSI starts trending to the upside. You do get corrections in between, but that looks something like what we are observing right now in the market. You have the price going down, and at one point you have the RSI staying flat, showing, okay, the strength in between the price and the RSI is diverging. And right now, we are also watching this possibility of a correction coming down, and which can go below this level for sure. Now, the primary question for most of us would be like, where would you be comfortable buying this asset? Now, while you ask that question to yourself, you also have to keep an eye on the macro price structure. See, when you're on a weekly chart or a monthly chart in an asset, you need to actually ask this question first to yourself. Where are you comfortable buying this asset? Because the macro scenario in this asset look like this. That narrative has not changed, or this is what the market shows you. Great. So if you are buying that close to the bottom range, now we all understand this easily, that this was the top and this is somewhere close to the market bottom based on the last market cycle. So if we are actually coming back down to hit that level, that is where you say buy low, sell high, that kind of things play in. Now, are we watching a ton of volume coming in? No. But remember, back in the days, just before we started moving up, we didn't actually get a lot of volume. It was kind of flat. So right now, that is what we are waiting to see. A lot of people will enter after the price breaks through and they see big numbers on the board. We can actually observe that kind of fluctuation when we are in the market, right? You'll still see like Pepe doing like 6% for the day and still holding on. Now that's the meme coin bringing new money into the market, or at least taking out of the money from other altcoins which are not performing well. So while we actually jump back into XRP, we really want to actually look at the XRP on a monthly and see like, okay, if we still want to get a continuation pattern on a monthly, which is going to be a macro here, we want to see the price holding towards this level, which is 0.38. That's going to be the strong range we would like to see the price hold. Now, if it holds anyway above that, especially if it can hold above 0.4, that is still going to be a major bullish scenario, because just like what we discussed, if you have been in this asset, now I know a lot of people would be here saying, I've been in this asset for like 6 years, still the market haven't worked out for me. So if you are in this asset from 2018, you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and I haven't still made much of money. But understand the fact that you bought somewhere at the top, not somewhere at the bottom. So if you bottom here, you're still in profit. If you bottom here, you are in profit. So now the first question for us is to easily identify, where are you right now? Are you above the moving average? Or are you below the moving average? Because the opportunities are made when you buy below the moving average. And how low? That is another key point. So while you measure that, you do understand that, okay, there are times when the price actually drops 50% below the moving average. Now, this is a 21-day moving average on a weekly. So if we put that into perspective, we are now talking about the actual drop which we got back here. So that would be even further than that, right? while we measure that, that is somewhere close to 60% drop, which is somewhat equivalent to what we have seen here. The next drop after that is not as low as the first one. So here you drop somewhere like 34%, and that was with the SEC case. So now we can actually put in the perspective here, like, okay, we are going to make a double bottom before we bounce back up. So how will the price action play out? That's why we zoom in to see, like, okay, what really is happening. Right now, you can actually notice different patterns happening, but one of the easiest thing to say here is that the price is doing this corrective section. And if that is true and it is ending somewhere close here, I would be really happy to say, like, okay, that really looks good in a positive way. But on the trend and pattern side of things, when you remove the moving average, when you remove all else and just look at what the price action is showing us, we haven't changed the downtrend yet. We broke the first level, we retested and got rejected. We broke the next level. We are right now at this level of support. So what we really want to see to go ultra bullish on this asset is that this asset bounce up from here and break this level, which is a previous support which was broken. Now if you broke back higher into this trading range, it is going to be positive. So imagine the price actually bounces and breaks higher. This is going to be positive. But right now, that's just a speculation, like, okay, that will be positive. We don't know the market is going to do that or not. But as you zoom in and in and in, you actually see, like, okay, the market has been dropping strongly. Now we are observing some kind of short covering. Like, there will be a lot of people who entered short and they are in profit now. Now they need to cover those shorts, right? And that buyback will push the price back up. So we need to see whether a lot more sellers are entering by 0.44 or not. If they are not entering, that means we may go 0.45, we may go 0.46, and we will see how the price action evolves. But one of the basic and easy thing for you as an investor in the crypto market to think about right now is the macro scenario is still here. Yes, you're all looking at Bitcoin. We are all at the mercy of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin decides to drop all the way down to like 19,000, there's going to be massive carnage in the crypto market. A lot of people who are leveraged to their teeth, say 50% of their portfolio, 100% of their portfolio, it's going to be a hard time. But if you are like, okay, I'm 5% leverage, I'm 10% leverage, and it's not going to impact my major portfolio because 90% of it is in spot on long-term assets and fundamental assets, not the meme coins, the fundamental assets which you strongly believe in. Now, these are not going to shake you out. It may actually give you additional opportunity to buy, and if you do have liquidity to do so, right? So while looking at the market, understand we are looking for key supports to hold and you buy at support because we literally don't know whether we're going to bounce off from 24 or 21. So we should be prepared to do that. Some of these alts are already reaching a major support. You buy at a support, right? You don't know whether it's going to bounce off or not, but you literally buy at that support. So if you are looking at Bitcoin on a 3-day, we can relatively, with some level of confidence, say, okay, I think we still have some more room to the downside. RSI can come down and touch this trend line. That would be a portion where I would think like, okay, now that means we are somewhere close to the bottom and you can look for altcoins to buy them at a support so that in the near term, you make some decent returns on that. So while we talk about decent returns, it's not just jumping into a meme coin and seeing some growth in that one. It is about looking at a lot of different assets which are massively down and observing whether they are right now showing you an opportunity or not. Now we are doing that on a regular basis in the Patreon, showing you which assets are down, which actually shows you a huge buying opportunity which is coming ahead. So if you are interested in that, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. So guys, if you received value, please do hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that already. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.